Hello everyone! Today we bring you an awesome tutorial on thought groups. We hope you find it very useful. Do you know what a thought group is? Don't worry, this video is exactly for this, so you know the importance of the thought group. People who want to speak English not only fluently but also understandably, they should divide sentences into smaller sections or chunks called thought groups in order to improve their communicational skills. A thought group is a group of words which go together to express an idea or thought. Each thought group has at least one emphasized word. For example, in the following sentence, you can see a thought group divided by slashes. I'm going to read the sentence without the divisions. Last week, Josue and Carla went play soccer for 3 hours in the downtown square. Did you notice? This sounds a bit strange. Now we're going to read them with the pauses. Last week, Josue and Carla went play soccer for 3 hours in the downtown square. This sounds much better, right? Why do we use thought groups? The thought groups are crucial if you want to transmit clear meaning. Let's see an example. I fell asleep in class because I haven't slept well these days. In this sentence, it is emphasized that you fell asleep, and for what reason? Because you haven't slept well these days. It is also relevant if you want to emphasize important information. For example, a beautiful woman who worked as a cashier in the supermarket called me sir. In this case, it is not just any woman. It is the beautiful woman who works in the supermarket. Besides, you must use thought groups if you want to show some signal changes or ideas or mood. On the other hand, it is viral if you want to breathe in the middle of long sentence. In order to use or recognize the thought groups, you must use punctuation marks or grammatical structures. Based on the punctuation marks, you can use period, semicolon, comma, and colon. The grammatical elements are noun phrases, subjects, verb phrases, prepositional phrases, and clauses.
Focus word. What is the meaning of focus word? Well, focus word, it is a word with a special stress, and this word is emphasized in the thought group. Besides, in some cases, the focus word has different syllables, and one of these syllables has the main stress. It is important to remark that the focus words are usually content words. Content words. The content words have a specific meaning, and this type of words is divided on nouns. The nouns are different words used to talk about people, animals, or things. For example, people, John or Mary, animals, Bruno or Pelusa, and things, car or table. Verbs. The verbs are words that emphasize actions, like run, running, ran, be, are or is, was, were, and John runs around the park. Adjectives. The adjectives are words that are used to express some characteristics of a specific noun, like beautiful, ugly, and Mary is intelligent. Next, adverbs. These are words that modify the verb in a sentence, like quickly, slowly, and John runs quickly around the park. Demonstrative pronouns. These are words that refer to a physical or a psychological relation, like plural, this, that, singular, these, those, and that is my car. The last one is interrogative. These are words used to make questions. What, who, and where do you live? Another type of words are function words. These are words that help you to create grammatical or structural relationships into which the contents words. They are divided on conjunctions. Conjunctions are words that link other words, phrases, or clauses, like and but. Personal pronoun. It is used as a substitute for the proper name of a person, like they and you. Possessive adjective is a word that indicates possessions, like his and her. Also, we can talk about relative pronoun. A relative pronoun is used to refer to nouns mentioned previously, like which and whose. Another type of word are auxiliary verbs. Auxiliary verbs usually follow an infinitive verb or a participle, like I have finished my lunch. Prepositions. There are words that express the relationship between two words. Finally, the examples are prepositions like at and on.
We must identify the different grammatical elements. The grammatical elements are noun phrases, subjects, verb phrases, prepositional phrases, and clauses. So, let's continue with some examples of grammatical elements. Noun phrases. Her face red with embarrassment. She took her seat beside the man she had tripped. Remember, a noun phrase is a group of two words or more words headed by a noun. Subject. The big green car crashed last night. Verb phrases. She can smell the pizza. Remember, a verb phrase is the portion of a sentence that contains both the verb and a direct object or indirect object. We have prepositional phrases. For example, the area outside the boundary is dangerous to cross. A prepositional phrase is an object that is modified by some words. And finally, clauses. For example, I want to buy a phone, but I don't have enough money. We have two types of clauses, independent clauses or dependent clauses. In this case, are two dependent sentences joined by coordinators. Let's do a brief review. To understand the topic of thought groups, you need to be clear about the meaning of the idea you want to convey. It is essential to know what the function of each grammar structure is and the use of punctuation marks. You need to handle the grammatical elements such as noun phrases, verb phrases, prepositional phrases, and clauses. You must identify the parts of each thought group. And it is important to identify the different intonation patterns. To do that, we recommend you to be informed about focus words, content words, function words, and others.
Let's practice. In this moment, you are going to put on practice all of the aspects that you learned today. First, read the text and identify the content words and the function words. Please pause the video and practice. Well, in this moment, you are going to see some examples of function words and content words in different circles. First, function words are in purple circles, like and, we, I, it, will, and their. Some verbs in yellow have, is, rise up, live out, be, some nouns in blue, like American dream, dream, nation, Georgia, and Mississippi. Some demonstratives in red, like this and that. And some adjectives in green.
Okay, perfect. After identify the content words, we are going to identify where each post should go, so that the text is the best understanding. According to what we have learned, try to put the pauses in the text. Pause the video so you can do the practice, and then we review. According to each post, the text should be read as follows. And so even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream. It is a dream, deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold this truth to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day of the red hills of Georgia, the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream that one day even the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the head of justice, sweltering with the head of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today.
Some tips to keep in mind. First, if you have trouble understanding some parts of a sentence, you need to practice a lot because it's the best way to improve your comprehension skills. You can do some exercises as you normally do, but after that, you must put into practice what you know from thought groups. Improving listening skills is one of the key tools because trying to listen, understand, and imitate are essential for the development of the topic. Practice includes self-assessments. In other words, you should use techniques such as recording yourself, reading a paragraph, and then identifying what mistakes you had or what can be improved. Use breathing techniques to avoid running out of breath and cutting off sentences. And finally, it's very important that you keep in mind that understanding this topic is not an easy process, but with perseverance and dedication, you will be able to understand without any problem. Remember, thought groups are crucial to understand a native English speaker. And when you manage to control the topic of the thought groups, you will have more fluency and you will be more confident to dialogue in this language. Thanks for watching and good luck.